So, I'm supposed to see my son Monday, and I get, I'm pretty, I do everything like how the father of my two children did something, like, if you put your important stuff the same place in that spot. And I did not leave my room. I did not leave. Do not go anywhere. And it's not where it should be. So I really can't do anything unless I find my important. I'm just thinking I might went to the shower and look. I'm just disgusted at, but whatever. So, I shouldn't say everything that's going on in my life on this thing anyway. This is not my counselor. This is a portal to, and I'm making it my life known to everyone, and I shouldn't do that, because then that's why I'm made fun of so much. I mean, but my cry was, is there not one person who is genuinely, authentically real and actually cares? And I will say their names. Like Perty Boss, I wrote to. Like Victoria T, I wrote to. Chosen Ones. I did. They had Instagrams. Now they changed their Instagrams like this year, but I did write. Yeah, out of desperation. Jordan, the Chosen One. Chosen to be Great. Terry Joe Jr., Trend Genius. I wrote to pastors who were on YouTube. I wrote to a church. I wrote a pastor who was told to me last year that they would help, so I Instagrammed him. Okay. To me, that's fake. I mean, Pretty Boss, I really like, her positive energy, but you know what? You never got, like, is your Instagram working? Like, how come? But then she has, like, thousands and thousands. Seriously. Like, none of that is even, like, picked up on her little bot. Oh, somebody wants help. I'm sorry, I can't help. Yeah, I'm rich enough to help you out, but no. No, I can't. No. Not even one-time help. No. Like, to pay rent. So, I just look at these people as fake. Especially the pastors. Well, the chosen ones. They're supposed to be Jesus people. Jordan the Chosen, he had an email. I emailed him. Okay, there was one lady who gave me $60 on the, is that this year? On Instagram. So she has, like, a little narcissistic thing. That's the only one. Through Alex. And I don't have, everything is, so if I can, I will get a P.O. box, because my situation is that totally insane. I will get a P.O. box. My situation has always been insane. I have the worst family in the world, and people don't understand that. Like, well, I had children. My children were kept away from me with my $200,000 from Social Security. They're my kids. So, if late Arthur Hess not the third would have died, guess what? There would have been no money from Social Security. So he was a great benefit. Certainly not to me. Never to me. I never had. Except recently, but look at all the hell that I'm forced to go through. Fucking rapist of 2019. I was living at Walmart. I got that messed up with 2020 with pretending I'm a narcissist. So I was married to James Lester Sapone, and 2020 is when I lived with pretending I'm a narcissist, but he was my worst abuser for 4 entire months, screaming to death at me, saying I raped Alex, saying, you know, I'm the worst person on the planet, I'm ungrateful, I shouldn't be, no one deserves, I'm the worst wife in the whole wide world, who would ever want to be my wife? Screaming this shit at me, like daily, like 2 hours a day. He made me want to die. And he drove me out to my friend's house. And he allowed me to have a beer. He's a fucking piece of shit. You call me a piece of shit. You're worse than a piece of shit. You're Satan yourself. And there was a young kid. Okay. Another chosen one, but he's like more because he went through it, and you can tell. Okay. So he's different from the other chosen ones that I just mentioned. There's like way too many. Like if I beg from you and you have an email, there was another one, I forget what his name was. Hooper. He was a basketball player, and he decided, you know, hey, you know, his partying life wasn't good when he was in school. I guess he went to college. He went on his own. And he was a good one. Hooper. Spiritual Hooper. I'm not sure. I think he had an email and an Instagram. I begged from him. I begged from, like how many fucking people? I mean, why wouldn't I beg? That's the position where my family put me. To have nothing. I never had any mortgage paid for me. Because somebody co-signed a fucking house in my name and pays for the mortgage. That never happened to me in my life. I'm homeless. Avril Lavigne. That wonderful video. Homeless video. That's me. Skillet did Not Gonna Die. That's me. Like, how did I even make it? I shouldn't have made it at all. Just fucking attacked my whole life. But I survived, and yeah, I get things organized to see my boy. Well, why? He doesn't even want to see me. Why bother anymore? Totally influenced. Because my dad died. So he's controlled. I just give up. Because, you know, on him. Because he's totally controlled. And I deliberately put on a red dress just to have me react. But it wasn't his influence, it was the other influence. I mean, my dad was a weak vessel. My dad died. So then, in the spiritual realm now, he's attacked. Late Arthur Hess not the third said the truth. He said, your mom's married to 3 men. Me, your dad, and Alex. And that's in the spiritual realm. And that was true. And that was true. Well, Arthur died January 5th, 2017. My dad died November last year, 2022. So, there's nothing to say more. My son, there's no communication. And then I tried to, you know, put something together, and now that's lost. And she's like, what? I said this place is haunted. It is. Every place is haunted. Whatever. It's just, I'm just disgusted. Like, I shouldn't have suffered all that I'm sick of it. I'm sick of saying the same old shit. You know, it's not my fault at all, but victims never get help. But the problem in this Satan damned the house and cursed earth where evil reigns is that the victim is forced to deal with all the hell that was dished on their plate. The insane abusers can dish it out, but they can't. They will never, ever, ever face the consequences and take any accountability for all the hell that they created. That's why Earth is hell. And it's all their fault. It's all an abuser's fault. It doesn't take two to tangle. It's 100% the abuser's fault. That's reality. Oh, you know, they didn't mean it. No, they meant it. I don't buy, you know, Jesus on the cross. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. All the fucking evil as hell fucking people know exactly what they're doing. And they deliberately are in denial. So they have a convenient life here on Satan Damned the House and Cursed Earth. They're blessed. I'm going to listen to the Accept song. Those lyrics, balls to the wall. I mean, you know, you listen to the song, it's an average song. Read the lyrics. The lyrics are the truth about Satan damned to hell, the sin-cursed earth, where evil reigns. That song is just one of how many? That's the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. What about Christian's Inferno by Green Day? East Jesus Nowhere by Green Day. Christian's Inferno, how much truth do you want? Seriously. Like, my God. You know. Christians don't care. A church doesn't care. Oh, Melody died because you didn't give her a little simple little room. Or why don't one of you guys in the fucking church give her a garage to live in? Oh, now she's dead. She was a lovely lady who was, in my opinion, severely abused by her dad with a bunch of demons because she, at the Lancaster Mission, she crawled around. She didn't talk for a long time. So I don't know what was up with that. And read her Bible. Boy, that didn't help. Oh my God, so all she did was read her Bible, and then they were telling her, well, maybe you should try to go to the library or something, like, you know, try to leave, you know, it was a winter shelter. But she didn't talk. But one day she lost it, and she actually went around like an animal and crawled on all fours, put her leg up like she was peeing at people. And it's just like so stupid because she's fully dressed and she's not peeing, but people were offended at that. Like, yeah, just like, who cares if somebody sticks a middle finger up your, like, oh, that's offensive. What about real offense? That's like nothing. Okay. But she made noises like an animal. I mean, she was in a demonic state of mind. So the demons, like, totally took over, and she was reading her Bible. That tells you a lot, right? That this world's, like, totally fucked. This is Satan's world. I do believe that we don't know where Jesus came from, but he might have been a good alien. The only good alien who decided to die on the cross. And It was recorded somewhere else that there was, you know, a decision between Barabbas and Jesus. Barabbas was the murderer. Who did Satan damns to hell, sin, cursed earth? Choose Barabbas. That tells you a lot. You live on Satan, damn the hell, sin, cursed earth. What did Jesus do? Oh, he helped out the homeless. Oh, he healed some people. I mean, you don't know everything. You just get reincarnated. This earth is hell. You get reincarnated back into hell. Now it's Third World War. All the wars that were on this planet were not as bad as the Third World War on the planet Mars. And then that Russian kid, and I didn't get back to that video, but that Russian kid, he was reincarnated by Mars. He lived on planet Mars. What the fuck? What the hell? Nothing is... Everything's kept hidden. You know, I mean, a 7-year-old going around all these adults and his parents. Camping. Everyone's telling their stories. He says, I got a story to tell you. They didn't want to hear his story. So he probably sensed that it was something negative, right? I was like, what? What? This kid knows more than NASA? And he's 7 years old? What? He's telling the truth? Yeah, that should have been in the news. Why not? Well, nothing's the way it seems. Shirley MacLaine came from Atlantis, and so did that one guy that remembers all his lives. So, actually, that is significant to know how much this earth is complete, total bullshit, that you get reincarnated back into hell. Like, oh, God, I don't have a fucking chance. You know, totally useless life. You are not accounted for by what you did in this life. That's a big lie that the religion tells you. Oh, you have to be accounted for every little thing that you did wrong on this earth. Well, then why do I not remember my past lives then? Am I accountable for all of my past lives? And the one guy that remembers all his lives, he was a mom in Egypt, and he was a priest who didn't do anything. But he's like, oh, in this life I'm gonna party, yeah. This life he didn't care, and he doesn't even remember, so he's not serious. It is good to be serious, but this is hell earth. So, nothing matters, and hopefully there's a real God that destroys this earth in fire, meaning everything. Everything. When the perfect comes, the imperfect will pass away. Everything. Found in 1 Corinthians 13. Everything. The knowledge that you know is only in part, but when the perfect comes, the imperfect knowledge will pass away. Everything. All your past lives. Everything. 1 Corinthians 13. What's wrong with that verse? I mean, the whole verse, when it gets down to, when I looked in the mirror, I saw myself dimly as I do things in childish ways. So I'm doing away with my childish acts when I look in the mirror. Guess what? Traumatized death victims like myself never ever had a childhood, so I never could be childish. I mean, like a good childish. Like happy-spirited and, you know, not a mean, temper-tantrumed tyrant who's a spoiled little brat who has temper tantrums. But a lot of that is from the abusive, insane parent. To put that on their child. Abuse them to death and then give them an ice cream cone and nobody knows what's going on, and they didn't give them the right kind of ice cream cone, so they just go berserk. But they're not going berserk over the ice cream cone, I'll tell you that right now. In the spiritual realm, that little kid is going berserk over the abuse. And that's what's really going on. Okay, and then I'll just explain this really quickly. I was like in 7th grade. I'll say his name, Mark Fisher. and Mark Fisher dropped his pencil. Now, I went through so much trauma as a kid. It was really insane, but okay, when a person is completely has a little bit of, they call it complex post-traumatic distress disorder, it's just, my trauma was, I didn't, you know, like, living in a daily environment, I was remembering trauma, right? But the pencil falling down, like him bumping the pen, I don't even know the scenario. There's something like he accidentally, like sitting in front of me, dropped his pencil. And him and Michael Smith, Mark Fisher and Michael Smith, were the popular guys in 7th and 8th grade. Popular, good-looking guys, right? And I, like, cried. And it wasn't over that pencil at all. It was from all the trauma that I went through. That you know, it's just like you know, like, it's so weird. This one little girl at Head Start, she cried. She bawled her. She was, like, when kids act crazy because of a little incident, like, you know, you didn't put my, my crayons in my, book bag. They're not crying about the crayons in the book bag. Like, I don't even know what, like, 1st grade, what was going on? Like, parents are really abusive to their kids. You better, you don't have to have that dollar. You have to put that in a bank account. You better put that, and another little kid, a girl was like, I don't know the incident. There was a kid in the class that didn't smile at her. Something like that. Petty. That doesn't matter at all. Nothing that would even, well, why does it even matter if you know somebody walking down the street and they don't say hi to you? That doesn't mean anything. But to this little girl, there's something, like, in the classroom, like the girl didn't smile at her or her friends. So she went berserk. It wasn't because the girl didn't smile at her. It was because of the trauma that she endured as a kid. Okay, and probably professional Patrick Teahan, counselor and professional very good godmother, could get into that. And I could follow up with them and type in, you know, the video that would go with the trauma that I'm talking about, the trauma that is triggered, like just a simple little nothing event, like, so it is bad. I mean, your mind is miraculous that it doesn't remember trauma, but then it does come up. Like, I was in 7th grade. Why the hell did I cried because Mark Fisher, like, dropped my pencil, like kind of making fun of me, and me and Rosalind Kronk. I mean, they had, like, she and me were embarrassed because we were the dorks of the class. So we were just make fun of us all the time. And Mark Fisher and Mike Smith, when they were in 7th grade, they did, like, a sex dance, like, in front of us, and we were just, like, crying in the bathroom, because we're embarrassed. So I'm sure I'll find my important thing, but if not, I'll just have to deal with, regular life, and nobody's there for me. I'm not allowed to scream, like, when I lose something, like every other insane abuser in my life screams. And they scream. Like, pretend a lot narcissists always scream. I mean, when I don't know, like, when pretend a lot narcissist and my late husband did not have me around, did not have a victim around to pick one, I guess they just, like, veg out and, like, pass out, go to sleep. My husband was, like, he was just gonna die at the Four Seasons. I was at Pyramid. And he actually rescued me at Pyramid. I had no one to rescue me because I needed income to be able to... you need somewhere to live. You need an address. And it could just be a fake person that just says, yeah, she's allowed to live here. And that's all it takes. But I have no one my entire life. No one. But my to-be dead husband to rescue me from Duncansville Pyramid. And that actually happened. I had a rotten life. A really, 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 really bad life. Just nothing regular. Like professional Patrick T. Hand's childhood. Nothing, not a regular day at all. Nothing regular in my day. Nothing, you know, in a pattern. Or, you know, nothing, you know, nothing good. Well, I mean, I was traumatized to death and whatever, you know. We were supposed to eat supper, but I was really bad at eating supper. And I was really bad in 2nd grade, and my sister was in 8th grade, and I stayed in the lunchroom the whole time, traumatized. And I used to go back to Sister Gretti's room in 2nd grade, and Mark Fisher and Michael Smith, I think, were in that room. There was in Sacred Heart School, there was a 1st grade to 8th grade, and they go to Catholic High. They all were in the same class. You know, I was a weirdo. I was the one who was made fun of all the time because I was weird. And that's not bullying. I was just traumatized to death. Of course you're going to make fun of me in school. I didn't have a childhood. I didn't have, you know, much, but, you know, a little bit of good times with Rosalind Kronk. And we had fun sometimes. And that was, you know, my life sucked. And then there's Terry Dicely, and she was a fucking liar. She was a fucking narcissist. Who cares about my life? My life was useless. Because of insane abusers who will never ever take the accountability that they need to take. People need to take accountability for the hell that they created. So I said something really good about, you know, triggering trauma when you know, and yeah, I am healed through Jesus' blood, but, you know, Christians are fake. Your life here on this fucking hell earth doesn't matter. Just because I was raped 1,000,000 times, it seems, and none of my rapes mattered. So, yeah, like, what's God gonna... It's all bullshit. But hopefully, you know, somehow there was a good alien named Jesus, and he just thought, well, maybe I just want a friend. Like every single alien god, they're all evil. Now, I want to be a good god. And I don't even know about, you know, Satan getting kicked out of heaven. That story. I mean, it's all stories. We don't know what happened, but Jesus actually, there was a Jesus on the cross. So he was a righteous man, right? I would say God. They chose to murder him and not Barabbas, a murderer. So it'd be like Jeffrey Dahmer and me. Oh, who you want to be murdered? Oh, we'll just pick on Tara again. Yeah, just crucify Tara. Just crucify her one more time. Who cares? Who cares about Tara? Certainly never pretend a lot narcissist never cared about me. And that's the whole truth, nothing but. Oh my God.